You know, I sure do like podcasting about G.I. Joe stuff on G.I. Joe Chronicles and Outpost on the LONGBOX CRUSADE Network.
You know, I do too. If there's only a way we could do it without microphones or computer screens, you know, in person.
Well, Jarrod, have you ever heard of Kentucky?
You want to solve this with fried chicken? I mean, I'm not against it.
No, I mean Shepherdsville, Kentucky. They host a nice little one-day G.I. Joe toy show called Winterfest. The next one is on January 24th, 2026. I say we have a Joe Podcast community meetup there.
Still not sure where the fried chicken comes in, but count me in. Let me see if I can find some KFC coupons.
While Jarrod does whatever Jarrod does, let me remind you listeners that G.I. Joe Winterfest is on Saturday the 24th of January, 2026. The location is Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Website is GIJoeWinterfest.com. Jarrod and I would love to meet the listeners of G.I. Joe Chronicles and Outpost and any other Joe podcast while we're there. We're even going to set up a meet and greet dinner for after the show on Saturday.
Not if I don't find these coupons.
All right. If anyone's interested in joining us for dinner, send an email to contact@longboxcrusade.com. So again, G.I. Joe Winterfest is January 24th, 2026 in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. And our contact email is contact@longboxcrusade.com. We'd love to see you there.
Buy 2 biscuits for the price of 2 biscuits. What kind of coupon is that?
Hey, it's Tim Seeley, and you are listening to the G.I. Joe Chronicles on the Longbox Crusade.
The Longbox Crusade presents
G.I. Joe Chronicles.
Don't they realize they're dealing with Destro? When I choose Gus Bucket, they're gonna scrape you off the walls with a squeegee.
Now stop sputtering like a wet toaster and get busy!
Welcome to G.I. Joe Chronicles. I'm one of your commanders, Pat Sampson, codename DJ Kristatos. And joining me, as always, is my battle buddy in this operation. It is Jarrod Ulbrich, codename Death Probe.
And he's DJ Kristatos. And to all the green shirts tuning in for our podcast, I want to welcome you to Fort Longbox. We appreciate you tuning in to talk some G.I. Joe comics with us as we chronicle our way through G.I. Joe, America's Elite on this episode. Now, next episode, we will return to our coverage of G.I. Joe Special Missions by Marvel. But for this episode, we are back in G.I. Joe, America's Elite that launched in 2005. And you know what, Pat?
What, Jarrod?
I'm going to unveil something on this episode tonight to just the select few that are here. So Django, Steve, Jim, and now Kathy.
Not Kathy, yes.
You all will get a little treat.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
I think you're right.
I think I know what it is now too. And it's exciting.
So,
it's exciting.
Our friend in the chat right now, Mr. Jim Meal, sent me a 12-inch Destro figure. Because I was like, if I had one of them Destro dolls, because it's more of a doll, 12-inch kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
I could make it Orsted. And as soon as I received this 12-inch that he sent to start this off, I ordered a tie-dye vest for it off of eBay.
Yes.
So we now have an official Orsted action figure. He's shoeless, which I think is appropriate for Orsted.
Yeah, that's what when he's around the house or whatever, that's how he rolls.
Right. I love the tie-dye vest. Like I said, I got that off eBay. And this is where I learned that buying 12-inch doll accessories, because you can buy like pretty much Ken accessories. Fit him, because it's the same scale. It's expensive, because I was like, I'm going to buy him some Birkenstocks for his feet. You can buy them, but they're like $30 for a pair of little tiny. And I was like, man. So one of the few people that actually knows about this is his official unveiling, but one person got sneak peek to it, and that was Matt Passo. Serpy Matt, who has a 3D printer. Who has informed me that he's going to be sending some Crocs for him that he's made on his 3D printer. And an accessory, Pat, for which Orsted can
loosen up
a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Like he'll have maybe he'll have some bells and he can go bong. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Oh.
Bong.
So like he's getting is that like a xylophone?
Sure. Anyways.
Right.
So I'm sharing this now with the people who are in the live chat. Because if you're a Crusaders Club member, you're in our live chat.
No. You should be.
That's right. And you guys could be seeing this if you were Crusaders Club members. For those of you on the podcast version, you could be seeing Orsted. Maybe I can take a picture and send it to Pat, and maybe he could put it on the post at.
We can put it on the live video when this comes out. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking on LONGBOXCRUSADE.com when you do the post for it. We could put a picture.
Oh, sure. We could do
on that, or however you want to play. I'll send you a picture. You will get more people to see Orsted. So my plan was and is go to the listeners. If you think you found something cool in Kindle, 12-inch Kindle size that would look good on Orsted, we will mess with that. And if you've got something and you want to send it to me, you just hit me up at Yard Sale Artist X Facebook, Instagram. I'll give you my address if you don't have it, and you can send. We'll just deck this guy out.
Yeah, we'll dress him up and have some fun with him. Orsted's always looking for that secondhand clothes that he likes. He's just like, you know what, man? That clothes need a second chance, man.
Yeah.
It's just somebody may not like it anymore, but it's still a good garment for somebody else.
Yeah, man.
I love it.
One man's trash is another man's eventual trash, actually. If you think about it, it'll blow your mind.
Oh, wow. That does blow my mind.
Orsted always says, man, when you're brushing your teeth, it's the only time you're really cleaning your own skeleton.
That makes sense.
It does. That's all I got for you today. So I'm sure that was great in audio format for none of you who could see Orsted, but check out the post or I'll send Pat a picture. So maybe even when he posts the social media post, he can like put it in the first comment or so. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll figure out ways to get it out there.
But yeah, his first piece is the tie-dye vest. I knew we had to have that, so I ordered that myself. The rest is up to the listeners. If you have stuff that for a 12-inch doll, like I said, if it fits Ken from Ken and Barbie, it'll fit Orsted more than likely. So anyway, that's Orsted. Let's get back to the show. We don't have any guests. It's just me and Pat tonight. And that's probably a good thing because we're going to do, before we even get into the official part of the show, we are going to cover the 25-cent Hunt for Cobra Commander issue, because this issue came out at about the same time as the America's Elite 11 that we're going to cover. And I just want to do some quick coverage of the 25-cent G.I. Joe America's Elite Hunt for Cobra Commander. It's a 6-page story, very short, and it's written by Mike O'Sullivan. It's penciled by Josh Metters, inked by LeBeau Underwood. Colorist is Greg Narvasa, and the letterer is Brian Crowley. And we just wanted to hit on this real quick. Again, it's 6 pages, but Pat, I thought the 6 pages were outstanding. And I'll let you talk first on it, and then I'll wrap it up, and then we'll get into proper for issue 11.
Yeah, definitely agree with you. I wasn't sure what I was getting into on this because they make it say like, this is a story that takes place before G.I. Joe America's Elite 0. So this is like a special.
Yeah, in continuity, like in release continuity, it's on the shelf about the same time as 11.
Okay.
But like you said, in story continuity, it actually takes place before America's Elite launches. Like before SUZ, like this is between the end of the Last Devil's Due run and where we are now.
Yeah. You're right. 6 pages, and they do a great job at it. Yes, They build up the suspense really quickly of what's happening, and we get to see, and maybe I'm going to bury it here, but we get to see Spirit Iron Knife.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see what he's kind of doing on the side.
Yeah, it's a very Spirit-centric story. We follow Spirit, and this is one of the few comics. A lot of time in comics, they'll tell sort of a story like this, and they'll tell you what the dates are. You should pay attention to the dates in this story because it's letting you know how long it's taking Spirit to track down Cobra Commander. Because as we all know, Cobra Commander looked like he might have been killed by the Red Shadows at the end of the Last Devil's Due storyline. It was very gray area. And it's really neat to just watch the timeline because there's only 3 characters in the whole thing, right? Like you said, Spirit, Cobra Commander,
and
Hawk.
On Hawk, yeah.
And there's a really neat timeline thing too, where Hawk is starting to get really concerned because it's been so long since he's heard from Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say, Pat, this 25-cent adventure, was definitely worth your time, even for 6 pages, a quarter.
Yeah.
But Pat, how cool was it when Spirit, quote
when
unquote,
we find out,
tracked down Cobra Commander?
The last part that you see when he finally tracks him down, and did he really track him down, or was he?
It's hard to say.
To track it, he finds this computer, and on the computer is some images of his own family.
Mm-hmm.
So someone's been watching him, or at least knows some stuff about him.
Mm-hmm.
And that someone is
Cobra Commander. I mean, like, as he's stressing out looking at these images, Cobra Commander sneaks up behind Spirit, which not easy, by the way.
True. I mean, that's part of the distraction as well.
Mm-hmm. With a rifle to the back of his head. And what does he say? He says, "Hello, Iron Knife. I've been expecting you." And I got chills, man. I was like, because, there's really 2 kinds of Cobra Commander. There's bumbling buffoon Cobra Commander, which is highly in the
but there's like 3
cartoon.
I think there's 3.
Go on.
You're going to say the bumbling one, right?
Right. That's highly in the cartoon and off and on in the comics.
Yeah. Then there's
super competent badass Cobra Commander that we see here.
The super confident one. And then the third one was going to be the sniveling.
The Weasley. The sniveling Weasel. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, he's bad.
Straight up scary in this.
Yeah.
It was really well done. And then you get that cliffhanger and you get that sort of show but don't tell storytelling, because if you remember, as we left the last run of Devil's Due, Hawk had been put in a wheelchair because he'd been shot through the spine by Cobra Commander, or maybe it ended up being Zartan. I can't remember. Jim in the chat. I can't remember who actually shot him. We thought it was Cobra Commander. It might have been Zartan. Can't remember. But anyway, he was obsessing. Remember? He was obsessing about Cobra Commander still alive, and I'm going to find him. And so now you get this interesting little side story that he's basically got Spirit running this mission for him. He's like, if anyone's going to find this guy, it's going to be Spirit. And then, Spirit makes his last email, like I said, pay attention to the dates. It's like July or something like that. And then it shows Hawk glance at the calendar and it's on September. He hasn't heard from Spirit since July.
The last contact,
yeah. So July. We don't know. Cobra Commander could have killed Spirit for all we know. They could have killed each other. All we know is we haven't heard from Spirit since that July meeting where Spirit was like, I think I found where he's at. And then that's where Cobra Commander gets the drop on him. So it's a huge cliffhanger. It's a great insight into the reminder of Hawk's obsession. And it's just a really cool story between Cobra Commander and Spirit.
Yeah. And if you...
Yes. My instincts were correct, by the way. Jim Meal just sounded off in the chat. It was Zartan's guys as Cobra Commander. It's always Zartan.
Yeah. And the extra stuff that they had in this issue, a lot of the, backstory, the... What did they call it?
Like bonus material. Yeah.
The data sheets on everybody. They have Spirit, and he is currently, they have him in reserve.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody really knows what he is actually doing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now we know.
Now we know that, they think he's a reserve and not being pulled up yet, but he's been pulled up. Well, at least from Hawk's side.
At least as a personal favor.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's on the books at all. This could just be Hawk's obsession, and I suspect it is.
That's true. That is.
But yeah, like Pat said, after your 6-page story, you get basically a reminder of the rundown of Spirit, Hawk, Cobra Commander. Then they do a really cool thing. They do a recap of every issue.
Yes,
There's of the new series of America's Elite so far. So this one clearly came out right before issue 11 that we're going to talk about, because it's not in the recap page. It goes up to it's 0 through 10.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool. Really, you can have little pictures of the covers. They have a little synopsis. I wish I knew this. I would have been using these as my synopsis.
You could have used these
up until now. But yeah, it's very informational with 6 pages of really good story.
Yeah, and 4 pages of backstory for Cobra Commander. I don't know if you got a chance to go through it.
I did not read all of that. I skimmed it.
Okay. There's some really good stuff in here, especially some stuff that, was thrown in down the road and through all the Devil's do stuff going on here. Like, his brother and Snake Eyes, and just him and Snake Eyes were Cobra Commander. Snake Eyes were together, things like that. It's interesting.
Django unfettered in our super secret chat, because this is being recorded for just our Crusaders Club members at patreon.com. So we have a few people in our super secret chat. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. Django says, I'm glad they released this as a separate issue and not saved it for the trade paperback like they did with Lady J's funeral in the Red Shadows trade paperback. And today's the day I realized there's bonus material in the Red Shadows trade paperback.
I didn't know
Lady
that
J's funeral. So thank you for the informational update, Django. All right. That is our brief look at the 25-cent Hunt for Cobra Commander, which came out between issues 10 and 11. But we are going to now return to our proper coverage of issue 11, which means I pass it back to Pat for the intelligence report.
All right. Well, for this mission, we will be covering G.I. Joe America's Elite number 11. This is published by Devil's Due. It's got a cover date of May 2006. The writer is Joe Casey. Pencils go to Nelson Blake II and Pat Quinn. Inks go to Dan Davis and Mark Englert. And colorist is Danielle Rudani. Letters go to Brian Crowley. Cover art is Tim Seeley and Udon. Or the alternative cover is Stefano Castelli and Danielle Rudani. And speaking about that cover, Death Probe, please take us through the cover description.
Take cover!
Issue 11's cover features Scarlet, and she's looking mighty fierce as she is surrounded by 5 members of the Red Ninja Clan. Her look is not afraid, though. In fact, she looks determined with a ninja star in one hand and a katana in the other.
All right, well, here's where we begin to think about what we thought of the cover. And since we don't have any guests, I'm going to bring it right over to you, Jarrod.
All right, I like it. It's a welcome return of Tim Seeley, and he's clearly trying a little bit of a different art style because it's not exactly like he was drawing it earlier. I think he came back just to have a little fun, to try a different flavor to his art. It has a lot of energy. It reflects the Menace of the Red Ninja. I said there's 5, by the way, and it looks like there's actually 6. I've missed the guy behind the G in G.I. Joe. And speaking of which, I just want to share this because this is the neat part of being super fancy like I am, is I have them hardbound, right? And what's neat is on the very back cover of the last issue, they show you the art that's coming up for the cover of next issue, right? But it also allows me to see a side-by-side in my hardcover fanciness to see the little differences that they manipulate with the cover dress. And so essentially, they take the G.I. Joe America's Elite logo, and they've actually tucked it in behind, like I said, but
that's
behind the
cool.
The one with the bow staff, you can't see him at all, hardly on this cover. That's why I said there's 5 when there's actually 6, because he's behind the logo. In the original art, he's not. He's clear as day. But that's kind of a neat thing that, like I said, if you look at the back of your issue 10, they'll show you the art, and then you can see how it's manipulated on 11 with the cover dress and how they kind of zoom in a little bit, how they bring the logo down a bit. It's just kind of neat to see the way they play with it now that we've entered into the digital manipulation age of art.
And that's a little bit, I just want to say, I don't want to say it's easy to do, but it makes it a little more handy to do. But, I always liked it, and we talk about it a lot when we cover older issues on our other podcasts where they do stuff with the logo, whether they're covering it up or they're bending it or doing something with the action that's going on the cover. But I like it. It also gives you that depth, right, of the feel of what's happening on here. And you're right. Just the determination in Scarlett's face makes this really a fun, action-y cover. You can tell that, who do you think is going to survive out of this? 6 guys against Scarlet.
6 nameless dudes. I mean, they're Red Ninjas, so they're cool and all.
Yeah. But they ain't Scarlet cool, and they ain't. Do they got the same training? Yeah, they probably do. But she's a master.
And she's got a lot of motivation because she's been very upset about Snake Eyes' death and missing body. And we're going to go into that. Steve Martin says Scarlet has that "you're gonna need more ninjas" look on her face. I like that. That's from Steve in the super secret chat. But yeah, Pat, did you have any other thoughts? I kind of ran wild on the thoughts there, but anything else on this guy?
I think the coloring is good. It makes everything pop. I think it's an outstanding cover on this one. It's not much to say, but
I agree.
The alternate in an awesome pose.
Mm-hmm. The alternate cover is we talked about by Caselli. It was like what they call it, a retailer incentive. So I think it's one of those, like, if you order 50 for every 50 copies of G.I. Joe you get this cover, one of this alternate cover. That's usually what they mean by a retail incentive cover. And it's just like red clad Snake Eyes in the red.
In the red, okay.
Standing there in the light and shadow of a window with some bodies laying around him.
Okay.
It's very small in here, so I'm not going to tell you who it is. It's probably the people on this mission.
Sure.
But I just want to toss it out there real quick before we get to the scores.
Oh yeah. Yep. I see it now too. It's on the inside.
Yeah, on the inside cover there. It's obviously the more rare one. Probably brings in a pretty penny if you've got it, because it is rare. A couple more from the chat before we move on to the scores, which we do on a 1 to 10 here, by the way, in case you guys want to start sending in scores in the chat. Snake Pliskin, welcome to chat. Thanks for being here. Says great covers, like the coloring, which is just what you said, Pat.
There you go.
Professor Jim Meal of the Joe Junkie Institute says it's a good perspective of Scarlet.
And we may have said this before. I like Scarlet's new outfit like this.
She's always had good looking outfits.
Yeah, I just like, she's got the red on the shoulders with the star on it, and instead of just a whole yellowy suit like that, I think it looks cool.
Concur.
All right, well, why don't we go ahead and find out how we want to rate this cover on a scale of 1 to 10 flag points. 1 meaning you didn't like it at all, and 10 meaning it's perfect and you should make it a recruiting poster out of it for Scarlet and the Ninjas.
It's a good band name.
Exactly. Jarrod, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this cover?
Snake Pliskin in the super secret chat has given it a solid 7. I feel like artistically, I agree with him. I am going to give it the bump up to the 8. Just because it's neat to see Tim Seeley return to the book after a while. And just to enhance the fanciness, we got to meet Tim Seeley at Heroes Con, and he did autograph my super fancy hardcover.
Yeah.
And even did a little head sketch of, I think it was Snake Eyes in there for free. So, yeah, I'm going to an 8. Solid 8. I like it a lot.
Solid 8.
What are you going to do with that, Pat?
Well, I'm going to see your 8, and I'm going to bump it up to a 9. I like it. And I think it's the colors that do it for me and the action on it. There's always something with this digital coloring, just how they can kind of get that shine in it, that glint of lighting that's just makes this really shine a little bit more for me.
All right. I agree. You know who else agrees? Jim Meal in the chat is the second of the two cool guys.
Two cool guys.
His cover started a 9. Steve Martin gives it an 8. Django Unfettered has yet to truly learn the rules here. He gave it an 8.5 and said he'd buy it off the spinner rack. We love it, Django, but fractions are frowned upon at the Longbox Crusade. Decimals. We
just can't do it. We're not,
I mean, if Joe November was here,
yeah, we could.
So we have to force you. You're gonna round up to the 9 or down to the 8. Yeah. We can't force him to do anything. But if you were playing by our made up rules, would you round down to the 8 or up to the 9, Django? That is the question to you in the super secret chat.
All right. Well,
he rounded up. He went to the 9.
All right. So that makes it 3 cool guys.
3 cool guys. It's an easy trip to Cool Guy Island.
And why wouldn't you want to be on Cool Guy Island? It's like me, 2 other cool guys when we're hanging out with
you and Jim
Orsted.
And Django.
Yeah.
And Orsted.
And Orsted, he's making the drinks, and we're just hanging out, man.
It's like, this is a tea I make from the local cactus plants, man.
Man. I love it. All right. Well, with all that cover talk out of the way, let's go ahead and get to Death Probe for the story synopsis in our mission brief.
Cobra, attack!
I'll be honest with you. This one has more questions than answers. The hunt for Snake Eyes' missing body continues, but now that his heart monitor is broadcasting again, the odds are good that he is amongst the living once again, and in Mongolia. So Stalker, Scarlet Flint, Storm Shadow, Roadblock, Shipwreck, and Kamakura arrive at the source of the beacon, a red ninja facility, and to their surprise, they are immediately attacked. The red ninja are supposed to be allies at this point under the command of former Joe Chabang, but something's not right with him, as we learned last issue, and he's determined to kill or capture the Joes. And guess who's helping him? A red-clad Snake Eyes. But did Chabang mention something about them being programmed?
Now back to G.I. Joe.
Okay, now it's time for the highs and lows of the issue. It's just you and I and people in the chat. So if you got deep thoughts on this issue in the chat, please put it in there. We'd be happy to read them on the show. Pat, what do you think?
I think you're right. This one was more questions than it provided some answers for.
We kind of already had the question from last issue of what's up with Shebang. He seemed off, and now it's like, yeah, he's off.
Yeah, he's off, and all the other rest of the crew is going, yeah, something's wrong with this guy. He's not who he is. But and that's the thing. I'm trying to figure out who is programming him. I mean, they seem to be them, but could they be brain scanned again or
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's like a lot of questions, a lot of action, and that's about it. There's not much else going on in this book.
And that was the good thing, the action, the fights.
Oh,
they were really cool. I liked them a lot. You know, let's just jump to it. We find Snake Eyes walk in his red outfit. That's a baller outfit. Right.
Again, though, we saw that last issue, and we were like, what's up with that? And then at the end of this issue, you're like, what's up with that? We just got no answers, man.
It'd be cool. Would they have made a Snake Eyes in a red action figure like that?
That is a Jim Meal question. So it's a good thing he's in the chat. If they ever made a red one, I mean, if not, it's got to be the easiest custom ever, right? Mm-hmm. It's got to be.
Now I'm questioning.
Your one can of red spray.
Or is he programmed? What's going on? All kinds of questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, cool action.
But
the same questions we had at the end of last issue. I will say I did find something interesting in here.
Okay.
Two things, but the most interesting thing, because I had a conversation with Jim, the Joe Junkie, and he was telling me that Kamakura, big reveal here, I guess quasi spoiler alert. Apparently Kamakura is that other dude from Vietnam that was with Stalker, Snake Eyes, and Tommy. And I think that other dude became a Crimson Guardsman, like the original Fred guy.
Okay.
And I think Jim told me that happened in the miniseries Master Apprentice, which I think has happened, but we're not covering it because it's a side miniseries. So I don't think it's a big spoiler for this series because I think Jim was saying that it got revealed in Master Apprentice. So if that be the case, then this story contains everybody from that story.
So they're saying it's Wade?
Yeah, Wade is Kamakura.
Oh, I thought it was the guy's kid, the son.
Billy.
No. The son of the first Crimson Guard.
Maybe.
Or the son of Wade. Yeah, because he came, took over, and then he went crazy and issue the one with the skull.
So it could be the son of the dude from Vietnam.
That's what I thought.
It may be so.
Maybe I'm wrong in thinking
once again, Jarrod is literally being professionally traded for memory problems. So bear with me, listening audience. Django and Fetters is saying Sean, perhaps the Sean, son of Wade. That may be what it is. Anyways, I just think it's neat how they're all connected to that one Vietnam story. That's where I was going with this. I was like, hey, every player was, of course, if Kamakura is the son of, but it's still a connection. I think that's interesting.
It's the connection to the guy that was with him.
I thought that was kind of neat because Stalker's there, Storm Shadow's there, Snake Eyes is there, and now Kamakura's there. And of course, Scarlet. So, like, it's everyone that is close to Snake Eyes. with the exception of Hawk, I would say, would probably be the next closest to Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
And we all know what's going on with him. Thanks to 25-cent adventure. But let me get to the chat. Steve Martin says, I'm not sure if it's a high because of the emotion, but the pain in Scarlett's voice and the desperation in her eyes got me right in the feels. Yeah, she's definitely the emotional drive of this moment of this storyline. She certainly.
And she has to be put in check by Colton right away.
Yeah.
When they know that they're going and what they might find here, he's got to keep her in check and go, this is the mission. I'm giving you a chance to be here, but you got to play cool. But then when she finds out that, is it Snake Eyes? Is it not? Is it program? This is so confusing to me right now.
For all of us. Yeah, Steve Martin says when she said, come back to me. Yeah, that's tough stuff right there. Django says he agrees. Lots of drama. That is what this issue is. It is drama and action, and that's it. It is really an action beat story.
Yeah, there's a lot of action.
And it's neat because, like you said, Colton is telling her, and I'm going to let you go on this because this is your guy and all, but you got to keep your emotions in check, which, by the way, as a leader in the military op is a terrible idea. She should not be on this mission. And speaking of people who shouldn't be on the mission, it's Flint also is still dealing. And he even said something.
But he's the more cool-headed one. Well,
yeah, he's the one telling her.
He just wants to bash heads. Yeah.
He's telling her, use that rage. Yeah. And, and even in his sarcastic way, he said something about like, she'll probably find something that I never will, as if to say, Snake Eyes is probably going to make it out of this. Lady J's never coming back.
Yeah, shouldn't. Yeah.
And that was tough, man. So there's a lot of angst, a lot of emotion, a lot of action. I will point out that for, I want to say 2 or 3 panels, cut back to the HQ, we actually saw Sparks.
Sparks, yep.
2 panels. 2 panels, we saw Sparks, and that'll be important later on in the show. All right. So, aside from that, the only other thing of note I have, Pat, is that pencilers changed. You can tell they're trying to make deadlines. Things are starting to get time crunched.
Yeah.
Because I did also notice that, like, issue 10's cover month is 2 months off from 11, so they missed a month. And you can tell they're trying to make it that time. And spoiler alert, the next issue has 2 pencilers and 2 inkers as well. So they're definitely they're definitely splitting duties to help make deadlines. It didn't really bother me much, though. I mean, the styles were noticeably different, but I was like, I still like the way they both draw. So,
do you think that it's being done that way, either to make sure that they're on track with issue 13? Because then that's there's an ad in here for,
and there's been teasers for it.
There's been teaser for it, and again, that's the reason probably for the hunt for Cobra Commander as well.
Yep. It's all building to the return of Cobra Commander, it looks like, in 13.
Yeah.
And I noticed that the upcoming issue has a plus page count as well.
Yes, I noticed that too, that it's a little bit bigger. So we're going to see hopefully we might get this story kind of ending and a bigger one coming. But now that I think about it, could the Red Shadows be involved?
I thought they kind of kiboshed Red Shadows at the end of that last arc, but you never know.
You never know.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I enjoyed the fights between everybody. You have, Snake Eyes fighting Storm Shadow. You have Snake Eyes fighting Kamakura. Kind of getting their butts handed to them, but you can tell Snake Eyes, he could have took him out, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't. Granted, he wounded them pretty much. And so, who's the guy in the...
You're about to probably ask the same thing I was about to ask you.
Yeah. Who is the guy in the last page on the bed with the breather in and his like head bandaged? Is that Snake Eyes?
I think that's real Chibang. I think we have a fake Chibang here.
Oh,
that's my theory, because he looks an awful lot like a defeated and incapacitated
Chibang
to me, which tells me that the one we're dealing with, Zartan, perhaps Xandar.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah.
I don't know.
Somebody could be Zartan. Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good idea.
I don't know.
Because whatever happened to Zartan?
I can never remember. I already have a bad memory, and that dude gets around so much. It's like, But yeah, that's pretty much your book, folks.
Lots of action.
Django Unfettered, the super secret chat says Kamakura has now had his butt kicked by both Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. And honestly, if you have to take butt
Scarlet
kickings,
kicked his butt too.
I mean, if you got to
training.
take butt kickings, that's a good group to take them from. Yeah, I think he did. Didn't he fight Scarlet?
I think they were like training
long ago.
Yeah,
long
ago, maybe in the
first run.
The first run
of Devil's Due.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I wish we could talk longer about it, but I don't think there's much more to say.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start scoring the issue. Of course, Jim knows who it is in the incapacitated, hospitalized state. He just put it in the chat. I know who it is. Of course, you do.
Of course, yeah.
So Jim, you may have stepped away when we needed you because it was you who was telling me that Kamakura was Wade, but then Django said in the chat Sean. Is Sean the son of Wade, who is now Kamakura? Help us out with that if you're still there, Jim. While we do that, if you read this and or if you didn't read it, I don't care. If you want to rate this issue, its story on a scale of 1 to 10, put that in the chat right about now. While I hand it back to Pat, and I will hand it back to DJ Kristatos for the IG's report on the combat readiness of this issue.
And for those of you who don't speak military, that means we're going to score this issue story on the same 1 to 10 flag point scale we used earlier on. So, Jarrod, I'm going to have you start us off on a scale of 1 to 10 flag points. How would you rate this story?
It's frustrating because it doesn't move the ball forward by answering any of our questions that we had from last issue. Jim sounded off in the chat that it is the son of Wade Collins. Okay, thank you. Right. Thank you, chat. You guys saved our bacon once again. Anyway, back to the scoring. It's got a lot of action. It's got the action I want to see. It's ninjas versus ninjas. While I buy time, I'll say Snake Plissken in the chat gives it a 7. Once again, I'm gonna go +1 to what Snake said. I'm gonna go with an 8. I'm gonna go with an 8. Could have gone 9 if we had solved at least one of the dang mysteries that are dangling. You know, it's kind of, I'm not mad about it because it's a great comic book storytelling technique to give you an action beat, but still leave you like, I wanted a little bit more. I wanted something to be revealed. I guess things were revealed, just not what we thought to be revealed. I mean, yeah, they were, and then once again, they made a big moment of Snake Eyes coming in the red outfit. And I'm like, you showed us that last issue. You can't give me another big moment of that. Anyway, I'm at an 8. Snake's at a 7. Steve Martin says he's at a 9 because he's like the emotional roller coaster, and I'm not going to fight him on that. Pat, which one of these people is going to be a cool guy? Well, Jarrod, out of all of them, it's going to be you. I'm at an 8. I'm too cool guys. Cool guys on an 8 on this one. Like you, I'm held back a little bit on the things that I wanted answered. The action really kept this one moving. It was a pretty brief read, but a good read. Yeah, I'm happy with it. All right. You know who else is going to be a cool guy? Django Unfettered. 8. Right. Action and drama. No answers and more mysteries. It makes me want to get the next issue. So, yeah, I'm with him on that. Let's see. Jim says this issue brought in many elements of some of the mini-series from this time. Yeah, and that we had mentioned, I think, when you had to step away, Jim, because I think it was you that was telling me that all this Wade Collins stuff, the son of Wade Collins stuff, was brought out, I think, in Master Apprentice, which I have somewhere. I haven't read it since back then, and I don't remember. So that's cool. Cool Real stuff. Ben with old brains now. Yeah, thank goodness for the chat, right? Or else this podcast would just be Pat looking at me, and I'm looking at Pat. Like we'd be making it up, and one of us just goes ninjas, and that's that's the show. So there you have it. All right. Well, now that it's time to award the episode's Silver Star Medal or Silver Snake for gallantry in action or sneaky snaky-tude. This is where each of us get to award the character in this issue who went above and beyond or below and sneaky. Jarrod, who do you have
as a silver star or a silver snake for this issue?
I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to give out 2. I'm going to give a silver snake to Cobra Commander for the 25-cent adventure for being the baller, cool Cobra Commander in that one.
Definitely, I would agree.
Scary Cobra Commander. And then for this issue, I will... Ooh, it's tough. You know what? I'm going to give a silver snake to fake Chibang or mind-controlled Chibang. He's winning. He's absolutely winning.
Yeah.
You know, he's got his compromised red snake eyes. At the end of the issue, he's on top of everything. He's winning. So he gets it. What about you?
Boy, that's a good one for this issue. I do agree with you on the Cobra Commander. Totally. Sneaky sneak. All the way on that. But for this issue, I'm going to go with Scarlet. I think just her heart and her, she just wants this to be true. She just wants him to be around. So I'm going to go with her as far as, did she get caught? Yeah, but she's still trying, She's still trying to kind of get into Snake Eye's brain and call him back. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't.
I like it. It will. It's Snake Eyes. He's got to come back.
He's got to come back.
Going to the super secret chat, which again, if you're a Crusaders Club member, you get invited to these behind the scenes live recordings. Go to patreon.com/longbox crusade to do that for as little as $1 a month. Snake Pliskin chimes in the super secret chat and says, Silver Star to Flint. He landed that chopper, I believe. I'm like, he did.
That he did. Yeah,
he did. Yeah, it was cool. And Django says Silver Star for Stalker because it's Stalker. Okay. Yes, that's also correct. I love Stalker. I love how he's like, I love how here in this storyline, America's Elite and to some extent Devils do, like he's what he was when Larry started him. Like we've talked before about how sort of Duke kind of pushed Stalker out a little bit.
Yeah, Stalker took it over the command more of the
original NCO of the field team, right? But anyway, yes, you're not going to get any argument against Stalker on the show. Not at all.
And it's cool that it's him and Storm Shadow and Kamakura, and those are guys that are kind of left alone to their own because they fell down the pit area, and then they all starting to get attacked, or in the beginning too when they're starting to get attacked, and he's starting to see people get down. He's like, everybody get together again. Storm Shadow just knows what to do when he says that, because he's used to it. It's cool to see his field command.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, now that we have all that out of the way, it's time to go to Death Probe's toy chest, where Jarrod's going to go over a toy from somebody in this issue. And I think you gave it away before, and I didn't know that. I didn't know they made this guy.
It's here, the G.I. Joe collection, each sold separately. G.I. Joe from Hasbro.
Yep, Pat, it's time for Death Probe's Toy Chest. This segment, I'll take something or someone featured in this issue and give you a brief toy history on it. And man, we were scraping the bottom of the barrel because we've done literally every character in this book, with the exception of the 2 panels from Sparks. All right. Sparks is Alessandro Di Verdi. Goes by Alex Sparks Verdi. He is Italian. He's an electronics warfare specialist. He was only available at the 2007 International G.I. Joe Convention. He was a convention exclusive, which was held in Atlanta in 2007.
Which would be a year after this issue came out.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Because this is 2006, right.
Sounds right to me. He has a long sleeve tan shirt with brown pants and gloves. He has green tack gear, black boots, and black knee pads. He came with a tan helmet, a pistol, a green backpack, a thin black antenna that attached to the backpack, a black microphone, a black hose, and a figure stand. This is my favorite bit of trivia about it, Pat. This is because he's a communications warrior kind of guy.
Okay. Yeah.
He is created using the head and torso of Breaker version 3 and the arms and waist and legs of Dial Tone from 1986. So they took literal other communication guys to make the other communication guy, which I think is great. There's currently only one version of Sparks, so you had to be pretty lucky to be at the 2007 International G.I. Joe Convention in Atlanta to get him. Otherwise, you're buying him on the secondary market, and I bet he's not cheap.
I can see Dial Tone's legs now. When you say that, I'm like, That's definitely dial tone, right?
Yeah, when you look at it, it's kind of a wonky. A little wonky. It's almost like his head's too small for the rest of his body.
For the body.
Like you could tell they just kind of like the joke was they were going to piece him together out of the other communications guys.
Oh, very, very well done. No, I like it.
I thought it was pretty clever as well.
Yeah.
Did anybody out there have this one? If anybody has them, it's going to be Jim. But in our super secret chat, if you had Sparks, let us know. Pat, I don't believe I have Sparks. I don't. I'm almost positive I don't. I believe he's going to be an expensive acquisition when I get to that point. I'm currently still trying to finish. I think I'm 2 figures away from getting. I have all the 82s. I think I'm 2 figures away from the 83s. So it's going to be a while before I get to 07 in my collecting because I'm going collecting chronologically.
I hope you get there. Hope you can get a Sparks.
I'm guessing you don't have Sparks.
I have half a Spark because I have the dial tone.
Yeah. I get the lower half of Sparks.
Yeah, I didn't know the guy existed. So very cool.
Hard to come by. Snake Plissken says he has no Sparks.
No Sparks at all.
No Sparks from the super secret chat. If anybody does, it'll be Jim, and I think Jim's nodding off and falling asleep by this point. We don't blame him. It's a late recording.
All right. Well, up next is our feedback segment called Combat Comms.
Call it, G.I. Joe! Go get Breaker! He can do it!
As always, we want to start Combat Comms with a roster of our battle-hardened Crusader Club veterans. These are the fine folks that have joined our Crusader Club. They enjoy early access to special Longbox video episodes, free raffle giveaways, voting on show programming, and so much more, like being a part of a live recording audience. And we do appreciate everybody that shows up here and joins in on the fun. It makes you a part of the show every time we do it. So here are the folks reaping the benefit and giving some much appreciated support to the show.
Alan W. Wright.
And Helica Wolf. Ow.
And Albert Elvis.
Bill Beer.
Billy D.
Bradley Dello.
Braxton Underwood.
Carrie.
Clinton Robeson.
Captain Entropy.
Clark Westfield.
Dave Collins. Driving that battle wagon.
Battle wagon.
Eric Hodges.
Eric Porter.
Ezra Gallo.
Gary V.
Gene Hendricks.
George Meal.
Gerald Green.
Heinz K.
Django Unfettered in the super secret chat.
Jason Keene.
Jason Lady.
Jeff Poyer.
Jim. Jamming. I hope you like the jamming too.
Jim Meal in the chat.
Joe Man Conan.
Joe Thomas.
John Watson.
Josh Strickland.
Candace Ward.
Kathy Bright, the MVP, in the chat as well.
Matt and Lizzie Passo.
Mark Ross.
Maxwell Treva.
Michael Mitten.
Miranda W.
P.D. Devons.
Paul Hicks.
Rick from Jeff and Rick Present.
Ronald Easterday.
Rob Morgan.
Sean Urbanski.
Snake Plissken in the chat.
Spidey67.
Spreadsheet.
Steve Cronin.
Steve Martin, who is also in the chat.
Get all the chat guys.
I'm the chat.
Tim Price.
It's chat guys. We're all cool guys in the chat. Tony Pennington.
And Toronto Cop. Auburn Elvis now in the chat. If we miss anyone on our list, we apologize. Please keep in mind we record these episodes well in advance of release. If you're a recent edition, we will add you soon. No worries. Let us know we missed you by sending a hate-filled email to contact@longboxcrusade.com. We'll straighten it all out. And if you're asking yourself, how do I get in on this Crusaders Club stuff? As I mentioned before, just go to patreon.com/longboxcrusade for as little as $1 a month. You'll get access to the amazing world of Crusaders Club. Come and check it out. Brace yourself, Pat.
I am. Okay, why?
We are about to see what messages from our platoon of loyal listeners we have waiting for us on Breaker's ComSat.
Communications officer, code name Breaker.
And these are from episodes 61, 62, and 63. 61 was Special Missions 8, 62 was America's Elite 9, and 63 was Special Missions 9. Because the last time we did recordings, that's as far as we've gotten, and now we're basically catching up.
We're catching up. All right.
Catching up. And I have them in order. Starting with Special Missions 8, take it away, Pat.
All right. Well, first up, we have Lizzie Paso from the Manton and Lizzie Paso. And Lizzie says, yes, yes, yes. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And maybe another 10 in there. I don't know. But you are not a chump. All right.
You can read the next one because she followed it up with that one immediately.
All right. Lizzie says, another one. She says, hey, guys, my fave pick of Lowlight is in this issue. And we know she's a big Lowlight guy.
I think that's why she was firing it up and dropping 10s, as she loves her some Lowlight. Also from the comments still about Special Missions 8, we have Andy Can't Spell, who says, low light, still have them, 10 for this issue.
And the spelling is correct, Andy. So you good job. I'll take the next one from G.I. Gary. Gary says, happy to see S Viper 72. That's Strato Viper, for those in the know. That was joining us that issue. Coming back through Orsted's cloud for this one. Great book. It's a high 9 overall. Lift ticket can be at the door because Flint has the stick.
You remember we were wondering why Lift Ticket was at the door on the cover of Special Missions 8?
Oh, yeah.
Who's flying the helicopter? And I had forgotten that Flint had a specialty of pilot. So good catch, Gary.
We learned that again in this issue.
Yeah, our buddy Scott O'Neill stopped by and said, I saw this today and felt like the LBC guys needed this shirt. It is a G.I. Joe Hawaiian shirt, Aloha Summer Beach shirt thing. And he just, he needed us to know about it. And I appreciate that.
We do. We'll have to talk to our dispenser of treasury, Delvin, and
Keeper of the shirts.
Yeah, maybe we can get some shirts, some cool summer shirts, swag. That would be fun. At least some cool Orsted ones. Maybe we need to come up with an Orsted logo.
That's not a bad idea.
That's not bad. It'd be fun. I'll take our next one from Jim Meal. The version of Lowlight Jarrod was trying to figure out is the Slaughter's Marauders version. Say that better, 3 times fast.
One of the better looking Slaughter's Marauders figures, in my opinion.
Yeah. That cool tone, the brown, the green, and the blue.
And then Matt Paso checked back in and said, they should have brought Dial Tone or a tech guy of some sort, but the issue would have basically rolled into the letter section way too early at that point. Yeah, these are all still from Special Missions 8. And guess who's back?
Yeah, he's back.
Just on a different platform.
Lizzie is back, and she says, Pat can't have mine, so she's definitely got a bunch of low light figures that she shares with us on a shelf.
Hit her again. She gave us another quick hit on.
All right. And she still says, hey guys, you did so much justice to Mac.
She loves her some low light.
Yeah.
And I believe this is the point where we start getting comments from America's Elite number 9.
Okay.
And Felix McBroom said, good issue.
Thank you, Felix.
Thank you, Felix.
I'll take our next one from Eugene B. Wright. I remember this cover, but I never read it.
Our buddy Bradley Douglas Dello says, oh no, I'm not ready. I have to go read it.
Sean Adams chimes in and he says, life is good when the commanders are back at Fort Longbox.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we are.
Thank you, Sean. That's very nice of you to say.
Yeah.
Our boy Steve Martin came in and said, I get to listen to 2 new G.I. Joe Longbox episodes in one day because I'm late on the Outpost release. This is the best Saturday ever. And he gave us the heart, which we love. And he also said, as much as I agree with the Forgotten Fred getting the Silver Snake, I got to give a Silver Snake to Storm Shadow for the dedication to the art of bullet slicing, which, if you remember, I don't think Jason liked it too much.
Yeah, Jason didn't like that. I'll take one from Scotty Cameron. And Scotty says, I'm curious to know if the Longbox Crusade crew has the disavowed trades that IDW published and saw that the vice president in the version reassembled Dick Cheney in the original issue and the Ties That Bind trade from Devil's Due Publishing. The vice president looks more like a young Dick Cheney. Interesting.
It is very interesting. There's clearly two versions. It looks like in the original version, he looks definitely more Cheney-ish because that's who would have been vice president at the time.
Yeah.
And then in the trade, they've given him brown hair and added hair. I wonder if it's because it's one of those things that like really puts it in a certain time frame, and they were like, they didn't want it tagged like this. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Thanks for that, Scotty. I never would have known that was even a thing.
Very good catch.
Our old buddy G.I. Gary from the Chaplain's Assistant Motor Pod said, love the show. Will there be an album drop for the Forgotten Freds featuring Orsted? Probably. I would say probably. And I think that's it for the America's Elite 9. And now we shift gears to the Special Missions 9.
All right. Well, I'll take another one from Andy Can't Spell. And Andy says, Psycho, had him on the peg. And Andy, you're 2 for 2 on your spelling.
Yeah, for a guy who says he can't spell, he's doing pretty good.
Doing great.
Bought him off the peg. I think I did buy him off the peg, too, back in the day. Steve Martin's back, and he says, one of these days the planets will align, and I'll be able to catch you guys live.
I better go buy a lottery ticket.
They have aligned because he's in the chat tonight. He said, another great show, fellas. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Steve. G.I. Gary comes around and says, great job, guys. Hopefully soon we'll get a Hind in the 1.18 scale. And that's the helicopter, right?
Yes.
And why are you guys always falling for Orsted's training schemes?
I don't know.
They're just so inviting.
And there's so many of them.
There's so many. Yeah, there's so many of them. It's like, we got sometimes, we're just trying to.
He's a charming guy.
Pass some time. And he just, he offers us stuff.
What are you going to do? All right. And finally, Hoover Jeremiah said, listen today, and it made me want to reread the issue, which I probably haven't done since it came out. Love to hear that. Mm-hmm. So glad that we're inspiring you to read along with us. That's the big points of the show. We love people to read along with us.
And Jarrod, I want to do one more shout out for somebody, if I can.
Yes.
All right. I received a special thing in the mail.
Am I about to get jealous?
Yesterday. You may get jealous. I received a file card for the Iron Grenader. And I got that from our friend Steve Martin in the chat. So thank you, Steve.
I'm jealous now.
It was quite a good surprise to have come to me in the mail. So thank you. You know how I like my Iron Grenadiers. A little cherry on it. And
I know you do.
I love them. So thank you, Steve. I appreciate it.
That's pretty cool. All right, that is it for all the written in feedbacks. As a reminder, you can now leave us a voicemail at 707-532-5269. I'll give it out. 707-532-5269 at 707-532-LBOX.
Pick up the phone. Sparks.
Even if you're half dial tone and half. And guess what? We got an audio send in. Let's give it a listen.
Hi, this is Remember Me Rick checking in with Cobra High Command again. I'm still here in Laramie, Wyoming, guys. Okay, I'll just keep on hanging out here and watching out for any G.I. Joe activity here in Wyoming. Cobra, remember me?
He's doing his Forgotten Fred impression. That's great. That is great. Fantastic job, Rick. Thank you. That's our buddy Rick from Jeff and Rick Present.
I think they need to probably send Sparks out there to get that communication line kind of working for him.
That might be his best send. My favorite one. Anyway. That was hilarious.
That was good. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Rick. Okay, that will bring us to mission complete status for this episode of G.I. Joe Chronicles. If you'd like to hear more from us in the realm of comic books, action films, vintage TV, movies, serials, and more, check out the entire LONGBOX CRUSADE Network. DJ Kristatos, where can they find it?
Well, Jarrod, I'm glad you asked. You can find the LONGBOX CRUSADE out there on all of those podcatchers out there. Just go and look for LONGBOX CRUSADE or find us at www.longboxcrusade.com. You can also just look at your social media and look under YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Blue Sky. Just go and find us. And when you do find us, give us a comment and say, I found you. We would thumbs up it or like it and share it as well, too. So we appreciate it. Back to you, Jarrod.
If you'd like to chat with us personally online, we can be found at back to you, Pat.
Oh, you got me again. You get it every time. You get me. Well, Jarrod, I'm glad you asked. You can find me on the X at Kristatos01. Jarrod, where can you be found?
I can be found at Yard Sale Artist. That's X, Facebook, and Instagram is all at Yard Sale Artist. Thank you for joining us for this episode of G.I. Joe Chronicles. We will see you on the battlefield next episode, where we will cover G.I. Joe Special Missions from Marvel, number 11, Sheep's Clothing. Until then, platoon, fall out.
Yo, Joe.
Yo, Joe. Yo, Joe. Yo, Joe.
The music themes for this show are done by musical genius Joe November. Please check out his SoundCloud at Josephline99. That's Josephline99. You will not regret it.